RWRs are one of the most important things in a modern aircraft, right? But Gaijin in this update is updating the internal, basically UI or inside the cockpit UI of the RWRs, of some RWRs, to make it more realistic. So if you play simulator or even air realistic battles, you can use these RWRs in a new way inside the cockpit to have more information. It's kind of funny, but yeah, it's very, very cool and very realistic. So we're gonna take a look on some of these RWRs in various aircraft to see what changed. Okay, we're gonna start with the F-15. So here we have it with the F-15. As you see, much more realistic than it was before. It's appearing as a AAA, the Tunguska, of course, because of the nerfs, but the actual little like RWR inside the cockpit is really, really realistic. Very similar to what we have in the in DCS, for example, or other games. Here we have an example of a MiG-29 appearing as a new radar, so it blinks, and then it will appear just as a normal target, right? And then in this case, I don't think he's gonna lock me, or he's gonna lock me, but it's not gonna appear because the RWR cannot see the lock from a MiG-29. But you see, for example, here in the MiG-23 as well, identifying that it is a MiG-23, so you can see that it is. And when it's locked, as you see in a launch, it's telling you when and where, I mean, where the launch is coming from, where the lock and the launch is coming from, right? Which is pretty cool. So very realistic, very similar to real life, showing a little bit of the intensity. You can see that if the target is closer to you or more away from you as well, you can kind of guess that he's closer or farther away, right? Again, with the launch parameters. Then we go with the F-16, which is very, very close to the F-15, the actual like little images systems over here, but the actual RWR is a little bit different. As you see, once somebody locks onto you, it gives you like a missile launch like light on the left side right there, and then it doesn't appear on the RWR, so it's a little bit different. Very, very cool. And apparently each of these will have their own like realistic models inside the cockpit. Here with the F-16A, for example, you still have the normal RWR that we are using, and then the missile launch light when somebody locks onto you. In this case, it's the Tunguska that it's locking onto me. It's not identifying it as nothing, just a AAA, right? As the A symbol there in the RWR. So very, very realistic on the terms of how it works. Same thing for the aircraft. As you see, MiG-29 shooting at me over here. He lost the lock to on purpose, and the missile launch light just disappeared. So very, very realistic. And you will see with the Fox 3 as well, it will appear missile launch on the left side there, missile launch, and then MiG-29. But also you will see a missile M appearing on the RWR. It's kind of in the middle there, but you can see that it is working. So for simulator players, but also for realistic players if you want to, it's pretty cool, right? Very interesting. Then some other changes. The MiG-21, guys. The MiG-21, for example, with the SPO-10, very old RWR, showing the two lights right there on the RWR where the track is coming from. So very, very cool. You can see that even some of these RWRs don't see inside the cockpit the detection, while in other, like in the actual like UI, it's actually looking at the detection. So very interesting. Then we go for the most like interesting one of them all, the SPO-15 of the MiG-29s, Su-25s, Su-27s and stuff. We have the Beroza, the SPO-15, right? So here it's kind of complex, but in the middle there you can see there is two like semicircles. The first one is for higher altitude than your nose, and the second one is for lower altitude. It's kind of a little bit bugged, but still it's more on the planar like kind of line of thinking of the vehicle. You have where the vehicle is locking onto you or pinging you from, so 90 degrees to the right, left, front, backwards. The type of target, right there it's showing that it's an AA system, so very, very cool, right? And even, guys, of course, it will show some other things like the distance of the target. Yes, it will actually know the distance of the target. So here we have a 12 o'clock, 10 degrees, you know, to the right. vehicle. Here, for example, no detection, 10 degrees to the left with the lock, with the red circle blinking on the middle, with a missile launch coming from down below. So very, very cool, very realistic, and very, very close to the real life. And of course, as you see, this circle is like filling up, as you see right there, the light circle in the middle there with the missile launch. That is basically the distance from the target. So yeah, it's telling you the distance of the target that you can actually look at. So you can use this in an air realistic battle, for example, to wait for when you need to actually turn to make a deviation and miss the missile. For example, here would be the example, ping from 10 degrees to the right, coming from above, fighter, which is a bit weird, a lock and a launch, so blinking there. And I will look at again, the circle is it's filling up. When it fills up, the missile is very close, and then I go onto a defensive position, and I am able to defend myself, right? Each light of those, it's like 5 kilometers or something. I don't remember exactly, but it's basically the intensity of the signal. Only works for missiles for Fox 3s or the distance of the actual radar that is trying to lock onto you if it's a normal radar. So very cool feature to the SPO-15 had in real life. Very cool, right? Then we go for the Tornado, one of the most advanced RWRs that they added in the cockpit. As you see, it gives you a code 19 from SA-19. This is the Tunguska radar, and the degrees, minus or plus degrees that you have to turn to go straight to the target. So a very advanced radar that can identify the types of radar. It doesn't identify the distance like the SPO-15, but it does, tells you like the exact type of radar, and it tells you like how many degrees from the left and right the enemy is firing onto you and stuff, with launches and everything. So as you see, it was the only aircraft that could detect a launch from a Tunguska that I tested, which is very interesting, right? Here we have Y code, which is a slot back. Slot back is the radar from the MiG-29, minus 1 degree to the left, if I'm not mistaken. So, to the left, yeah. 0.2 degrees to the left, slot back radar MiG-29. You can see on the left side there in UI, it's telling you it's a MiG-29. So very, very advanced radar, guys. Very cool. And it gives you missile launches as well with semi-active and active radar homing missiles. As you see now, it's detecting the missile as a P code, 20 degrees, 18 degrees to the right. And yeah, it's telling me that a missile is coming, right? Very, very cool RWR. Probably my favorite of them all. I had some crashes testing the Mirage one, but you can kind of have an idea here. I managed to get some recordings with it, but it was kind of a little bit making my game crash for some reason. But yeah, as you see, very similar to the NATO ones, the normal NATO ones, giving you the position, kind of the distance and the identification of the exact vehicle, kinda, right? So very, very cool as well. The Gripen had a very weird one. This is the final one that is just bigger and like kind of weirder over here, and it's the point of controversy that people are, it's not identifying what type of vehicle it is, right? It's just saying it's a post operator. So yeah, but anyway, you get the idea. So they are revamping the inside the cockpit RWRs, and it's pretty cool. Really, really cool, right? So yeah, guys, basically this is it. I hope you enjoyed. There are other ones out there. I'm not gonna test each of them because it depends, but just an overall idea of some of the RWRs that they changed. So yeah, very cool for simulator players, but also useful in RRB if you wanna have some more information on your RWR, right? Hopefully they add these for the UI for third person as well. The additional like information that I talked about, like if it's downwards or upwards according to the RWR and stuff. So yeah, see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe, click the like button, always help a lot, and comment down below what you think about these new kind of revamp of the RWRs that Gaijin did together with the nerf, right? See you guys, bye.